Just because a build is a demigod does not mean that it is for you. The best build for you and the demigod for you is the build that you play the best on and that fits your playstyle the best. So don't think you're gonna make this build and just be able to do all these things. If it doesn't fit your playstyle, it doesn't fit your playstyle. I've made multiple builds that other YouTubers have put out, and not that they sold wrong, those builds were awesome, but they didn't fit my playstyle. So I thought I was making a demigod and I was gonna hop in and be able to do all these things. Well, I had some attributes maxed out that fit a playstyle that wasn't mine, that I didn't use at all. And that's just wasted attribute points. So, you know, over trial and error, the game coming out, playing more and more, you figure out your play style, you figure out where the game lacks and where it shines and things like that. So you develop your play style. I think we're far enough now in where you guys kind of have an idea of your play style. I know I've got a pretty good idea of mine, and I think this build is the build for me. We're gonna get right into it. I'm not gonna keep you. Let's go. I'm not gonna keep you here long. I'm not gonna drag this out or anything like that. I'm gonna give you guys what you guys are here for. We are gonna build this together, just that way I can tell you, you know, why I chose what I chose and whatnot. But I will say, if you give me a like and a subscribe, I would appreciate it. Obviously, it helps me out, so I would appreciate if you can help me out. If this build or this video helps you out, at the very least, help me out, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Off the rip, guys, this build does not have any dunking. Well, it's got a 36 driving dunk, I believe it is, but what we are going for is the layup packages. Now we're gonna put this up to 81. I specifically wanted the Jimmy Butler layup package. Now I believe you get that at 80 or maybe even 79. So look into that, I'm not sure. Driving dunk is very expensive, and I knew I wanted more defense, and I knew I needed more defense. We play a lot of threes and even in fives. I just like being defensive. So we went with the 81 driving layup. Now our driving dunk is up to 36. Now, I've watched multiple videos. You at least have to have it at 36. I'll just go ahead and say that. I don't have the exact proof as to why, but I've watched multiple videos, and I watched them when I made this build as to why you at the very least want your driving dunk at 36. So that's where we're gonna put it. Now, what we are gonna do is we're gonna put the standing dunk all the way up to 73. Now, you're not gonna see anything right now, but once we put our vertical up, we are going to get all of these. Precision dunker, rise up, fast twitch, maybe aerial wizard, and bronze at least. Now, I am not trying to finish at the rim. That is not my role. But a higher standing dunk, you really only need 45 standing dunk to get a standing dunk. And if you go to 50, I believe you get Ginobili package, or maybe that's a driving dunk. Look, I've got the post control up on 92. Now on a 6'8 build, you will not get gold unpluckable unless you have post control up. Post control is super, super cheap. So when I was making this build and I was messing around, I was like, I don't know where to put these points. Where am I gonna put them? I like Jimmy Butler, right? He gets in the post, he's got that midi game. I know we really needed a midi game. So I went ahead and went to 92. And what I'm gonna show you guys that this build can do in the post is just ridiculous, I'm telling you. Moving on, mid-range is going to go all the way up, maxed out. We're gonna put it to 90. So we got mid-range at 90. Now our three-point shot, and I'm gonna throw some clips in here. You guys could put this at 76 and you will be totally fine. Now I put it to 82, and what do we get when we put it up to 82? We get the Hall of Fame open looks. Do I think that is worth it? Not really, to be honest, now that I made the build. Now I've got multiple 6'8s and they all have 76 3 balls, and I'm gonna throw some clips in of what those can do at a 76 3 ball. Maybe for you, that's not it. I've got a buddy who we tried getting to shoot on a 76 3 ball. He couldn't hit for anything. We put him up on a 92 3 ball. He doesn't miss. You gotta do what works for you. But is it possible to hit a fader? Is it possible to hit a step back? Is it possible to hit all these different things off a 76, 78 3 ball, shoot from deep, all of these things? Yes. You stack things like take, you stack things like 2-8 tenacity, heat check. All these things are possible. Take good shots, stack things to work in your favor, right? I mean, 78 3 ball, bro. I mean, what else do you need? The Hall of Fame open looks, I have found doesn't really pop up too much or much of a difference. So I would say you could save those points. You could go to 76 or a 78 3 ball, and I think you'd be happy there. You get the 90 mid-range, you're still going to be crazy. You're still going to get a lot of good badges, but it's entirely up to you. But if you're asking what this build has specifically from the Jimmy highlight video that we just did, this is it. Now, free throw, we're going to come back to at the end. Now, pass accuracy, specifically for me, I love an 87 pass accuracy. Now, here's why, and I'm going to throw some clips in again. But look, people say, I get it for bronze bailout. I want bronze bailout. Now, this is what people say every time I say that. Well, I just feel like if I'm a shoot, I'm a shoot. I get it. Well, if I'm going to the rim, I'm going to put it up. I get it. I specifically will go to the rim knowing that I do not have a chance at all of making that play, just so that I can bail out pass and just make people bite just a little bit more. Now, that is my play style. So again, you can adjust things here. Now, I would not recommend going anything under, I believe it is a 77 passing. You've got to at least, I mean, if you're the primary ball handler, you at least got to have needle graded bronze. You don't sell on your teammates. I personally go for the 87. And I use LeBron James passing style as well. Ball handle's going up to 85. Now, that's what it is on all of my 6-8 builds that I have. That's what I like. Ball handle 85. What dribble style to use? I use LeBron James as well for that, but you could use pro. There's a couple of others, but hey, we're not here for that. Speed with ball is going to be 77. Again, on all of my 6-8 builds, this is what I have. Now look, you are not slow on this build by any means. If you saw the highlight reel from the last video, you see what this build is capable of. Get the right speed boost, make the right plays, you're totally fine. 3s, 5s, 2s, this build is good for all of it. 1s if you want it to be, but maybe not, I don't know. I don't play 1s. I don't know how much interior or blocking you need in 1s and whatnot, but I mean, what we are gonna have on this build is we go for 94 perimeter. Now, I have a 6-8 build with a 94 driving dunk, and I love it, and it is great, but it only has a 78 perimeter. They're both very expensive. I ran the 78 perimeter with the 91 steal, and I want the 94 perimeter, and that's just me. That just fits my play style. So I'm going 94 perimeter, and then for the steal, we're gonna go up to 91. Boom, here we go. So now you get the glove, the interceptor, the right stick gripper. Here, we don't even have our speed and everything else up, so we'll come back and like look over all of this, you know? Speed, we max it out, we're at 83. You see we get the silver speed booster, we get the silver hyperdrive. Defense is based off of speed. So having your speed high, or as high as possible, is beneficial. If you're trying to be a defensive player and you've invested in this 94 perimeter and all these things, your lateral quickness is tied to your speed. Put your speed up. Now, what you're doing here is I put it to 77 on the acceleration. If you want, because you're not gaining anything from 7, I would at least go to 75 to get the gold triple strike. However, that's my play style, but triple strike is extremely underrated. If you speed boost out of your triple threat, you'll break them off every time. And if you can hit that fader, or you can get past them and you can hit that floater to the rim or whatever it is, triple strike is such a goated badge. I love it. And it was never my play style before, but I love bringing the ball up court now, passing to someone, you know, if they can't get a shot and they hit me, just catching it and holding it and waiting there. First off, the awkward pause just always messes people up, but then hitting that triple strike and getting that gold off of that, it's just great. I love it personally. So, but I went ahead and went to 77 so that we can get the fast feet. Now, speed launches and cuts defensively to assist in staying in front of the ball handler. So again, we made this build to have defense, so why would I not get the fast feet goal? So I put it up to 77, but also acceleration, I always have it on 77 on my builds, because that's kind of the bare minimum of where you want to be to get the most for it. It's up in the air, and don't take my word for it, but it's kind of like at 70, you don't want to be below 77, and you don't really need to invest into over 77 unless you're like a 6'6", and then just put it high enough to get the gold speed booster, and then after that, don't touch it. Strength. Again, I said we made this build to get the 74 strength, so we're getting the 74 strength, and what we get with that is the bronze bulldozer. Now, bulldozer, if you don't know what it is, it's like that you're bulldozing. You get into the rim and you push a guy off you. If you've been trying to defend a guy going to the rim and he pushes you and sends you flying, that's bulldozer. I had a build with Hall of Fame bulldozer, and it was amazing, and I loved it. So maybe it was just a nostalgic thing for me. I at least wanted the bronze bulldozer. So instead of the 73 strength, because as you see, we lose the bronze bulldozer at 73. I went to 74. Now we've got Clams Gold, Fearless Finisher Silver, Physical Handles. So by putting your strength up, you also get your physical handles. Physical handles lessens the chance of being bothered by defenders on the perimeter while dribbling. Now we're already a 6'8", right? We're technically slower, right? If you're gonna compare us to a 6'6", we're taller or slower. Our ball handle's lower, right? So I'm just putting things in to give us as much like benefit as possible, right? So physical handles goes up to gold. We got a movable enforcer bronze, which is ridiculous at bronze, and you're already bigger with longer arms, so it all plays a part. Having that immovable enforcer, I mean, I've stopped one. If you get in the paint and interior right now and you just wall up, you're going to get a stop most likely, like majority of the time, regardless of the size difference. But that immovable enforcer, like, I'm stopping guys significantly bigger, like big men at the rim, just because the bronze immovable enforcer. Or when you get that mismatch, because you're a 6'8" point guard and you get a 6'4", 6'5", or 6'6" dribble god pass for his point, he's not going anywhere. You've got 94 perimeter. You've got 91 steal. You've got immovable enforcer bronze. You've just got all these things defensively to help you. So if you're talking about trying to get past the dribble god cheese, so to speak, I think that this build can help you do that. So for the vertical, we are going up to 60. That gets us the bronze rise up. So now if we go to the standing dunk, look, we've got the bronze precision dunker, aerial wizard, fast twitch, and rise up. Now I'm not finishing at the rim, but if I do get the rim like on a fast break or maybe even a back door, I want as much in my favor as possible because I've already got the low driving dunk, and pretty much standing dunk is based off of driving dunk if I remember correctly. I don't know if that changed in the updates and stuff, but if you don't want to take my word for it, that's totally fine. What I will show you is this video by Lakers fan. This is a Lakers fan build. Now, if anyone knows how to dunk, it's probably Laker fan, who runs a pure interior finishing big man and is dunking all of the time. Now, he has this build, and actually my 6'8" build was built off of this 6'6" shooting guard build that Laker fan has, and this might be a good video for you to watch as well. Maybe this build isn't for you, maybe you want the 6'6". This build is sick, and if I wasn't running this 6'8", I would be running this 6'6". Now, this 6'6" one that Lakers fan made, he even says in this video, he says, now a thing you'll see a lot of the time on my videos is that I'm vouching for no driving dunk, but the 65 standing dunk. Coming from the guy who's only dunking in this game, I'm going to take his word for it. So back to our build. We've got the 73 standing dunk and only the 36 driving dunk. We're going with it. Verticals at 60 stamina. Always max out your stamina. Don't think that you should. You should. And plus, what do we get when we max out the stamina? 94 feet Hall of Fame, workhorse Hall of Fame. That is great. We're trying to be a defensive build. Now look at us. Is this build done? You obviously have some extra attribute points. Now what did I do with them? I put them into free throw because we're making a Jimmy Butler build and he hits his free throws all the time. Now also, free throws are not free in this game, and you'll hear a lot of people say that, and you'll hear guys way bigger and way better than me say it. Free throws are not free. Now I have always gone with like a 71 to 75 free throw, and I personally at a 71 free throw am very consistent. I use the Michael Jordan free throw, and I know that it's a 3 count from the point that I hit the button. It's a 1, 2, 3 and a release, and I hit it almost every time. Now if you go up to 71 free throw in this, you will get bronze free points. So I think if you're going to put your free throw up, at the very least you should go to 71 and know that you get the bronze free points at 71 and you get the silver at 80. But I've run the 71. I didn't really see anywhere else to put the points anyways that I needed. So we put this free throw up to a 91 and that maxes us out. We are here. We have done it. Now, let's look at what we've got. At the close shot 62, to be honest, I don't really care about it. The driving layup, like I said, we get the Jimmy Butler layup package. And now what you will see, or maybe already have seen in this video, floaters are ridiculous. It was a new learning curve for me. And honestly, I was not sure about this build. I almost deleted it and didn't want to make this video because I have never used floaters and I didn't think it was going to work. They are ridiculous. And if you can figure out how to properly put them into your game, it's pretty freaking unstoppable, as you can see in some of the clips that I've showed. With the driving dunk, we get the slithery precision, whatever. It's at 36. At minimum, it has to be at 36. Otherwise, you are not going to get a driving dunk. You are not going to. If you're on a fast break and you're running at the rim and you hit up on the stick before you get into that restricted zone, you're going for a layup. At the 36, I believe you'll actually get a driving dunk, whether it's a double clutch or whatever, which I do have a video of one in my last highlight reel. That was a driving dunk. It's a standing dunk when you're under the rim and you're literally like a vert, straight up standing. Now, if you don't know the cheese, here's the cheese. You're on a fast break, you're running down court, and you have at least a 45 standing dunk. run into the restricted zone underneath the rim, and as soon as you're fully inside of it, hit up on the stick, you will go straight up. So you will go from having forward momentum to just going straight up in a vertical and getting a standing dunk. That is why we go with the standing dunk. I know if I have a back door, I'm gonna be right under the rim, I'll rise up, I'll get the standing dunk. I know on a fast break, if I really need to, I get right under the rim in that restricted zone, I'm going up for a standing dunk. Post control 92, you get them gold unpluckable. That's kind of the biggest thing, and really the main reason I did it was because I was like, oh well, I'll get the gold unpluckable. But also, like we said, this is how Jimmy plays, right? So you get back down Punisher bronze, you're getting Dream Shake Hall of Fame, and I promise you, this is ridiculous. When I do shimmy fades, people can't move. It's ridiculous, it's cheese, but it's the same thing that people are doing when they're dribbling on the perimeter with a 99 ball handle and they're freezing you up, because that's just the game's mechanics. Not because you made a mistake, but that's just how the game works. So we've got to play this game. There's like basketball IQ and then there's 2K IQ, and there's like maybe a little bit of a mesh between the two, but you got to play this game and know how you can take advantage of the game's flaws, or you know, where the game shines. So we get the Dream Shake, Drop Stepper Gold. Drop Stepper Gold, Hook Specialist. I've never used a hook in my life, but whatever. Post Fade Phenom, that is a big one. Now, we are working off of mismatches. We are 6'8", and I've got a video, and I'll show it. I am backing this dude down, and I back this 6'5" or 6'6" point guard down all the way under the rim as if I'm a big man, hit him with a drop step and do a layup. We are going for mismatches with this type of build, and that is what we want. And even if we don't get a mismatch on our guy, we can pick up maybe my shooting guard who's 6'6", at Chef Gagoots, all love to him, but maybe he has a defensive menace on him, or that he's guarding, and that defensive menace is a 6'8". I'm gonna swap with him because I've got a better match, and if the point guard's a 6'6" or a 6'5", he can take him, and my shooting guard has high defense as well. We both have the 90 plus perimeter and steal, so if it's just in terms of a mismatch in body, we're gonna go ahead and make that switch. So I think at the 1 and the 2, having the option of having a bigger guy and a smaller guy, whichever way you do it, I think it's a good thing to have, and you can use it to your benefit. You get the Post Playmaker Gold, and you get Post Spin Technician Hall of Fame. Great goated badges. Great. Mid-range shot up to 90. Again, we're getting all of these: gold blinders, catch and shoot, dead eye, green machine, space creator, silver spot finder, gold guard up, gold midi magician. Now when you're getting in the post and you're backing them down, you're hitting the fade. Now you've got a Hall of Fame post technician, post spin technician with post fade phenom or Dream Shake, pairing up with a gold midi magician and a gold guard up. It just works well, and I don't think I really need to explain that. This is the build. If you're still here, you're just here listening to me chat, but I'm just giving you guys a little breakdown. 82 3-ball, again, you could go to 76. Now, what I would say is worth having is the Agent 3, and that's why you should be at a 76 to get that Agent 3. That is a good badge, and it does pop up regularly for me. But I said, whatever. I've had 76, I've had 78, I've had 92, and I've had 86. I said, is there really a difference? And you get the Hall of Fame open looks, and we know open looks aren't great, so I was like, hey, I've got the points, I might as well just get the Hall of Fame open looks, because open shots are almost 90% a brick with the way that the game is working now, you know? So I went for it. 91 free throw, we already went over that. Pass accuracy, again, up to you. Don't go under a 77 if you're the primary ball handler. Do not sell on your team. 85 ball handle, I wouldn't recommend going lower than that. 77 speed with ball, totally good. Interior, who cares? We didn't up that, that's just by default. Perimeter 94, also something that you guys could choose to change. Like I said, I've run a 78, and if you're good on the stick with your defense and you know what you're doing, then you could stay at the 78 or even just go to the 85. You could even go all silver badges on both, 85 steal, 85 perimeter. It's entirely up to you. Everything is up for change, but this is what I went with, and this is what I knew I needed to be successful. Defensive rebound, don't care about that. Now, there are some things you can change. Now, I messed around with this build a lot when I first made it, and I don't know if it was the post control I brought down, or maybe I brought the 3-ball down, and bringing that 3-ball down or bringing something down helped me get the defensive rebound high enough to where I could get rebound chaser, so I could get the defensive rebound up to 60. Now, I will say on this 6'8" build with the pretty long with the 7'2" wingspan, you can get rebounds. Are you going to get a rebound on a big man? Most likely no. But off of a bounce, you're going to get it most of the time. You're just bigger. You've got the strength. You've got the immovable enforcer. You've got a few things playing in you. So if you can get your body positioning right, you can grab a board and help. You know, I did grab 3 rebounds on a big man the other day. Like, my team kept bricking and I kept grabbing the rebounds. How? I don't know. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but sometimes this game is funny. Speed 83. I typically have it at 84. I wouldn't go any lower than 83. Or I guess technically you could go to 81 and you don't necessarily gain anything at the 83, but defense is based off of speed. Defense is based off of speed, and I don't think I said that earlier, so I'm probably going to cut this right now and put it where it needs to be. Defense is based off of speed, so having your speed high, or as high as possible, is beneficial. If you're trying to be a defensive player and you've invested in this 94 perimeter and all these things, your lateral quickness is tied to your speed. Put your speed up. 77 acceleration, that's all you need, I promise you. Strength again, 74, we've been through that. Vertical 60, stamina 99. Now, what you get with this build, do you get a Jimmy Butler? That's what everyone wants to know. No, you don't. If you make this build at power forward and you bring down the ball handling and the pass accuracy, it gives you shades of Jimmy. Even if you bring down those same exact things at a point guard, you're not going to get shades of Jimmy. So it just is what it is. But if we're talking in terms of what does this build do? What is this build capable of? It plays very much like a Jimmy Butler. It's got the elite defense. It's got the elite post scoring. It's got the threes when you need them. It's got all of those things. So, hey, that's it. I hope you guys liked it. I hope this helped you. That is our Jimmy Butler build. Any questions, please drop them in the comments. Anything you want to know, anything you have to ask, let me know. Someone did ask what build was it in our 12-0 deficit comeback video. That was a very similar build to this one, except it had 78 perimeter and the 94 driving dunk. Like I said, I do have a 6'8 with the 94 driving dunk. So if you guys want to see that one, I can make a video on him. I won't make it as long and drawn out as this one, but thank you. Please give a like and subscribe if this video helped you or if you think this build is worth it. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.